Shalom everyone, this is Todd Bennett coming to you from Shema Yisrael Publications and Yisrael Connection. I'm excited to tell you that we've got a tour coming up for Shavuot 2016. Many of you know me through the Walk in the Light series, which has been a very long project that finally came to an end about a year ago. And during that process, many people asked me if I would be conducting tours to the land of Israel. Now, as I worked on the series, I've been going to Israel 2 to 3 times a year over the past 14 years, but I've never really had the time to spend putting together a tour because I was working on the series. But now, when I was down in Panama in December, finishing up Yisrael Connection, people asked me again, would I be doing a tour? And of course, if you're familiar with what we're doing at Yisrael Connection, the whole idea is connecting people with the covenant and the land, and we're really creating an experience for people. And of course, what better way to complete that project but to actually have a tour and bring people to the land. So we've put together a tour for Shavuot 2016, and I'm really excited to come to you and give you some of the itinerary information and give you some of the specifics. So hopefully, if you've been wanting to come to the land of Israel and have an adventure, and not just a tour where you get on a big bus and tool around the country and get herded on and off like cattle. Whenever I'm there and I see people doing that, it makes me feel bad, because that's really not the way to experience the land. We're going to have a small group of people, and we're really going to get to know one another and spend time fellowshipping, sharing, and adding some teaching and experiences into the whole thing. And it's going to be a life-changing experience for anybody that comes. I can guarantee you that. So we've got the itinerary out. In fact, I've got a revised itinerary right in my hands here, hot off the presses, and I just wanted to go over some of the details so that you have an idea of what we're going to be doing. Everybody's going to be arriving on May 9th. We've got people right now coming from the United States, the United Kingdom, and as far away as New Zealand. So we're all going to be coming in at different times, and so we'll arrive in Tel Aviv. Everybody will, rest up, get in the hotel, get to know one another, and after everybody gets there, we'll get a good night's sleep and start the adventure on Tuesday, May 10th. At that time, we'll be heading up the coast to Caesarea, and of course, the theme of this trip will be Shavuot and a pilgrimage, okay? And just to point out, a lot of tours don't go to the land during the appointed times because things are more costly and it's more expensive. Well, we really tried to make this tour inexpensive, but also bring people to the land at an appointed time, because what's the sense of going to the land if you're not coming at one of the 3 times every year that he commands us to go? That's when we're in sync with him. That's when we're supposed to meet with him, and there's really tremendous blessings associated with that. So my idea of putting together a tour was to bring people to the land for an appointed time. So once we get going on Tuesday, May 10th, we're going to be heading up the coast to Caesarea. Caesarea was a major port city that the Romans developed, and it's really an incredible site. And what we're going to learn there is just the pagan influences that existed during the time of Yeshua. And there was a lot of paganism. The Greeks had come and Hellenized many cities, and then the Romans followed them. And so what we see is the covenant people attempting to exist amidst all of the paganism that infiltrated the land. And of course, that's very similar to what we're all experiencing in the diaspora throughout the world. We're living in Babylon, essentially. And so what we're going to experience right off the bat is a coming out of Babylon. We're going to meet there, talk about the pagan cultures of the past, and really correlate how we're living today and see all the similarities, that there's really not much difference. Even though we've got thousands of years that have separated us, really much of it is the same. So as we depart from Caesarea, we're then going to make our way up into the Galilee, and we're going to go to Nazareth Village and kind of experience the way Israelites lived back in those days. And there's going to be quite a contrast in the cultures. we're then going to go to Kirbet Cana, which is not the traditional site of Cana that many tourists go and that religions have called the site where Yeshua was at the wedding and performed his first miracle. This is a different site, and it's a site that's probably more likely the site of the Cana event. And while we're there, we're going to explore the significance of the fact that Yeshua turned water into wine at a wedding, and the significance of the wedding as his first miracle event. And we're going to show the significance of that wedding event beginning his ministry with actually the Feast of Shavuot and a future fulfillment of Shavuot. After we leave Cana, we're going to hopefully go to Tel Megiddo, which was a major fortress city for the House of Israel, part of the Northern Kingdom. And we're going to explore that region of Har Megiddo, or Armageddon, as it's often referred to in the book of Revelation. And we're going to talk about the future battle that's supposed to take place there, and actually talk about the fulfillments and how Shavuot works into that whole scenario. We're then going to move on to Tiberias, where we're going to be at the Sea of Galilee and spend the night. We're then going to wake up and have an exciting day the next day around the Sea of Galilee, different significant sites there. We're going to sail on the Sea of Galilee. We're going to go visit Chorazim, which was a interesting Orthodox Jewish village which Yeshua visited. And that's also the site of the seat of Moses that he referred to when he talked about the Pharisees. After we're done there, we're going to go up on the Golan Heights, and we're going to go to a really interesting site called Gilgal HaRaphaim, which means the meeting place of the giants. And it's actually called the Stonehenge of Israel. And it's got many archaeologists baffled because they don't quite understand or know what it was for, but they do know it was an ancient meeting site. And it's very interestingly positioned below Mount Hermon. So while we're there, we're going to talk about the book of Enoch and the Nephilim and the different ideas of what happened prior to the flood, and the significance of the fact that there were indeed giants in the land. And that's something we read about in the scriptures, but rarely do we actually make it a reality. And so when we're there at this meeting place of the giants, looking up at Mount Hermon, it's going to give great significance to the scriptures and those stories of the past when people coming into the land, and fighting giants, actually fighting giants, and afraid to come in the land because of the giants. And the realization of that is going to be quite profound and significant for all of us. After that, we're going to go to a place called Hippos Sosita. This is a place where I actually dug many years ago, and it's one of the Decapolis cities. And again, here we are up in the Galilee region where Yeshua was ministering, and all the while there's these pagans living right there, sacrificing to gods like Dionysus and slaughtering pigs. And of course, we read the story of Yeshua casting demons into the pigs and them running in off the cliff and into the water. And likely those pigs were there for the Dionysus sacrifices that were occurring right there at Hippos Sosita, right across the Sea of Galilee from Tiberias. So, only when you're there in the land, actually seeing these places and seeing how close they are to one another, do you understand a lot of the dynamics that were occurring in the New Testament. All right, well, that's just a taste of what we're doing on this trip. As we go down the Jordan River Valley, we're going to be immersing where Yeshua immersed in the Jordan River, where Israel crossed over the Jordan into the Promised Land. We're going to see where they first set up camp in the land. We're going to be going to the Dead Sea. Then as we go up to Jerusalem, of course, we're going to celebrate Shavuot. We're going to be right there at the Temple Mount at 9 o'clock in the morning with expectation of a future fulfillment. And we're going to talk about the past and future fulfillments of the Feast of Shavuot. We're going to be all over the Old City, different archaeological sites in the Old City. We're going to go up at the Temple Mount. We're going to be at the Ophel Gardens, and much, much more. We're going to be taking a day trip into Samaria, where we're going to see Shiloh and Bethel, and We're even going to go see Joshua's altar on Mount Ebal, where he set up the altar, and we saw Yisrael renew the covenant with the Mount of Blessings and the Mount of Curses, and we're going to go up on Mount Gerizim also, and we're then going to spend a day trip going down to the Ela Valley and see where David slew Goliath, and we're even going to spend half a day at a dig. Everybody's going to get an opportunity to dig, and my hope is that by getting your hands into the land, you're going to be excited about coming back to the land and truly connecting with the land. So I'm really excited about this tour, and I really hope that you can join us. And if you're interested about coming along, you can go to www.shavuot.com. So I'm really excited about this tour. It's going to be a small tour, an intimate tour, and I'm looking forward to meeting all of you and spending some good time with you. And we're even going to allow people to stay longer if they want to, and we'll help you arrange additional time if you want to stay longer in the land. And I'm even going to stay a couple days afterward, and would be glad to spend even more time with people that come on the tour. So if you're interested in joining us, I'd really like to see you in the land. And you can find out more information at www.shavuot2016.com. That's SHAVUOT 2016.com. You can go to the website and get more information, and that'll give you the contact information on how to sign up for the tour. So we're looking forward to seeing you and hope you can join us. Shalom.